How's it going, everyone? Oh man, what happened to my... Shoot, 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 shoot. Hope everyone's having a good day. Today we're going to be working on a couple different cool things. We're going to start by creating, I think we're going to start on the enemy. Give me 1 second here. All right. There we go. It's on the wrong screen there. I do another podcast and I was accidentally using that one. All right, so we're going to be working today on an environment and an enemy. I think we're going to work on the enemy first because the environment's going to take a lot longer, I have a feeling. So if we kind of get the enemy out of the way, then we'll, be able to keep going on the other one. Let me turn down this music a little bit here and we'll get going. All right. So, first thing we need to do is find our states. We need to add a new state that's retreating. Just this one. So we do have one called running away already. Let's see if it's using this. So when we go into here and we go to set movement speed, we don't have that option here. Okay, AI movement. AI movement right here. Okay, so we need to add a new one in here. We'll call it retreating. There we go. We're going to set this to 400. And then we're going to go into its behavior table, which is basically what controls the logic of the enemy. We're going to add a new little thing in there that's going to tell it that when it is retreating, we want it to do a certain thing. Hey, how's it going, Linny? Lindley? So this is when it's in passive state. We're going to create a new one of these over here. I think we can just do a sequence. We're going to call this one, maybe. We're going to call it retreating. Then we're going to make this pretty simple, honestly. We need to tell it when it's in retreating, we need to do something, right? So it's the same thing as this Blackboard-based condition. So we're going to go ahead and add a condition. Where is it here? Blackboard-based condition. You're 9? Cool, man. Are you into gaming and stuff? We're making a custom game right now. What kind of games do you like to play? All right, so what we want it to do is it's going to abort both. So that means it'll abort itself if this changes, and it'll abort this one. So whatever the result changes, it just aborts everything and goes to it. That way it's not going to get stuck on anything. So we're going to do that. We're basically going to copy this one. State is equal to passive, right? But we need to change that. So state is equal to, we want running away. So when the state is running away, then we're going to do something. And we're going to set that state inside of the actual enemy profile. We'll do that here in a second. And this is going to be pretty simple. We're basically going to do very much the same as this thing, but we're going to complicate it up a little bit. So all this does, I'll show you. First, it's going to clear whatever it's focusing on. It's going to set the new movement speed. We want that to be retreating. And then finally, right now it's just doing a random patrol. So it's picking a random location that it can reach within 3,000 distance units, 3,000 units. And then it's basically moving to that spot. So pretty simple, but this isn't going to work for what we need. It's not quite complex enough. And I'll show you our environments are pretty complex. They're full, it's basically tunnel systems, right? We'll open up our new one we made yesterday, this cavern block left. So it's basically a bunch of randomly generated tunnel systems, right? Flesh caverns, as I call them. Now, the problem is it right now it's finding a point away from you and trying to go to it. But if we were standing here and we hit it, it's going to try to find a distance away from me, which is out here, outside of the map. And then it'll try to find another one close to it, but it kind of wigs out a little bit sometimes, and it doesn't know what to do with itself, so it just runs all over. We want it to specifically run away from us. Killer Clowns? All right. That's a good one. I haven't seen that in a long time. Fortnite, Call of Duty. I used to play Call of Duty a lot, man. When I first got into gaming, it was funny. One of my girlfriends at the time, her whole family played Call of Duty, like a certain night every week or whatever. They get together and play Call of Duty. And I never really played games much before that. And I started playing with them, and I had a lot of fun. I used to play zombies mostly. I loved zombies, man. But yeah, I really like that one. At one point, I think my team, we got on the moon map really early, and we got like, I think we were like number 2 in the world on the moon map at one point. It was pretty cool. So, all right, see you, man. Nice chatting with you. So we're going to create this new enemy AI. So right now it's doing a random patrol. What we need to do is EQS query. And this EQS query, what this is going to do... Oh, all right. The EQS query is basically going to plot a bunch of points around the actor, and we're going to assign a value to all those points, and then we're going to find which one is the furthest away from the player, and we're going to run to that. So, the first thing we need to do, let's get into our enemy profile here. We're going to make an EQS. Oops. Doing something wrong here. Why is my EQS not showing up? Environment query. There we go. We're going to call this retreat query. All right, so this is what it looks like here. So the first thing we're going to do is, well, first let's assign this. We'll save it. Then we can diagnose how it's working. We're gonna the result will be the point of interest, and right here. So we're gonna do retreat query. The single best item is what we want to return, and it's going to put it into this point of interest identifier that we can then use later on. That's how this whole thing's gonna work. I haven't played any of the new zombies. I played a lot of the old ones, and I kind of got away from Call of Duty. I haven't been playing that quite as much. I didn't play Fortnite really, but I did play a lot of PUBG back in the day when I had some friends playing it with me. That was fun. Have you ever played a game called Darwin Project? It's a blast. Kind of like Fortnite. It's like a survival arena type thing, but you also have to like harvest wood to stay warm and do other stuff. But what's so cool about it is there's one guy that's like an announcer, and he doesn't play the match. He just announces the match. But he can drop rewards for people and do stuff. And the announcer can set up like challenges for someone. He can close areas of the map, and if they don't get out of that area in time, then they die. So I used to set up challenges where they had to try to escape an area of the map by a certain time, and then they would get a reward of like a bunch of wood or a weapon, whatever it is. And it was a lot of fun. You can announce it kind of like it's like a football game or something, you know? When people start attacking and having battles, you can announce the hits, and it's a blast, man. I loved being the announcer. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is create points. We'll just do a basic grid, and let's just stick them in here real quick. Um, I gotta look up how to debug EQS. I forget. Been a little while since I've worked with EQS. So show developer AI debug. And then press 3, it said. That's not working here. Try starting. Oh, shoot. Hmm. Maybe it is working and we don't have it set up right. Let's let's oh shoot, I opened the wrong thing. Let's come in here. Get out of that. Let's mess with this a little bit more. Well, let's go to a different map here. I don't know if I have some of this stuff set up on this map. That might be why. Go to Hub 2. We're just gonna drop it right in here. Now the idea is we want to find. Let's see if we can get this debug working. The heck? They should be doing this. I see down here he has EQS set up or something. There an EQS section down here. If I remember right, we have to put something on the creature. It's coming back to me now. EQS environment query. No, nothing. Damn, man. I know we have to do something like that. Hmm. Hmm. So bright, yeah. This level. It's because all the other ones are so dark. Um, oh, we actually have to make a different pawn to do this. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've worked with the EQS stuff. Oh, cancel. We'll call it EQS test. And then we'll drop that in here. Get rid of this one. Then there we go. That's what we want. Okay, so this is what we're looking at here. Let's lift it up and we'll put it up here. We can really see it. Okay. So we're making a grid like this, right? And the idea is we want to then use the grid. Make this small so we can see it all. Let's make it like 2,000 large. And we'll project it down like, we'll do 1,000, I guess, but make it like 1,500 big. Space between, we'll do 2,000 big. Space between, we can do like probably like five, that's a little big. I was gonna say 500, but 200 maybe. I think 200 is good. Try 250. Yeah, I think 250 is gonna be okay. The less of those we can have, the better, but we want it to be big so that when it's running away, it picks a spot that's far away. That's the idea here. All right, so we have all these spots. Now we need to figure out which one is going to be the furthest away. So we're going to do distance. And right now it's distance from us. We need to change that, right? We need it to be distance from the player. So distance to we can do attack target. That makes it kind of easy. Prefer greater. Float range, we'll do 0 to 100. And I think honestly that's like all we need to do. Um, or I don't think we really need to clamp it. Distance 2D should be okay. All right, now I think that's all we really need to do. And then we're gonna come back to um the thing here, and it's turning out the point of interest. So then we need to do move to. We want to move to the point of interest. Really, I kind of want to think we need to also limit out what we can and can't get to. I think it's path finding. Yeah, path exists from querier. Let's put that first. So it only finds ones that it can get to. Um, okay. I think we should be good. Let's go back and look at what it's doing here. So if we put this down, something's up because we should be getting some scores, I think. Or it should at least be filtering out some stuff. Let's look this up here. There's a really good video that I just came across yesterday. And it's going to walk us through it. See, it should look like this. So we're missing something here. We're going to skip through this a little bit and find what we need. So he's setting up the thing. He's got the grid. Got our grid, so let's skip forward a little bit. Oh, path to item. Then we don't have to do the other one. Hang on. Where was that at? Where was that at? Oh, it's the pathing grid is what he's doing. Okay, so he's using this one instead, which is cool. That'll make it a little easier if we find the path to the item. Do that. We did 1500 and 250, or no, wait, we did 2000, huh? 2000. Um, should be able to. Okay, so we're gonna open up Tavern Quest. We're going to drop in a world blueprint here. We'll just do the start block. That way we have this query to work with, or the the pathing. This green bit that you see, that's like where the people can walk. So we're going to use that as our example here. Or testing. So now we drop that in, we do retreat query, and now you'll see it only shows where he can walk, right? And it looks like we're getting pretty good coverage overall. Cool. So far, so good. There's our score. So you can see the further away from us it is, the higher the score. And we're going to specify it from 0 to like 100. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll just leave it at 0 to 1. I think it needs to go a little bit bigger than this. Try something here. We're going to add another block here. We're going to connect those up. We're going to link it up like it will be during the map. Whatever, that'll work. The thing I want to test here is how far does this go? Yeah, so that's like the maximum. So we need it to be a little bigger than that because I want it to be able to run like more than just one block away. So let's change this. Pause that. I don't think we even need that anymore. Let's make this like 3,000 instead. And that way it can get a little further away from the player. So it can run like basically this is like the beginning of the map essentially. It can run from there all the way out to there. That's pretty good. We can adjust that later on. So let's delete that one. So now we have it basically picking out. Let me open up our thing here. So it's now finding that and designating the single most highest thing as as the point of interest. And then we're going to make it run to the point of interest. I think that's pretty much all we need to do here. And then after it does that, we need to then and let's make our own move to task because we only want it to move like one time, right? So we're going to come in here, floating bacteria. We're gonna create a new. I think I do it from up here. New, right here. We're gonna call this BTT blueprint task retreat. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're basically going to open up this one. And we're essentially just going to copy this. And then the thing that we want to change here is on move finished. We want to make it that state. Actually, I think we need to cast it to get controlled pawn. Let me think here. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've worked with some of this stuff. We should be able to change the state from in here somehow. I'm trying to remember how we do it. Get, oops, get blackboard. And we'll set value as, I think, enum. What we're doing here is we're going into this blackboard. We're going to find this state, and then we're going to set the state as a different default value here. Promote that to a variable. I'll call that state. And the enum value needs to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or no, wait, sorry. Just 0. Back to passive. Think that should do it. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Okay. Blackboard key selector. Do blackboard key. I want to expose that. Get rid of this. Get rid of all that. And then back on the blackboard, we need to set that. So like right here, we want to set state. And then we can pull out from that blackboard key. We can do set value as enum. There we go. So basically what that does is we're in this, when we call it, we're telling it, hey, take this state and set it as the blackboard key reference. And then we're pulling off of that and changing it to value 0. So that should work. So let's do a quick test on this. And when we test this, how we're going to do it is I want to do get value as enum. And then we're going to do a print string that. There we go. So this will tell us what the value is. So if it says passive afterwards, then we know that this worked. Let's delete all of this from our level. File, save all. Now let's test it. So one thing I want to do here. So the things that we're changing are the floating things, which we'll see here in just a second. This guy. So when we shoot it, it should run away from us. Seems to be working. Oh, uh-oh. I wasn't paying attention to that. Now let's try it the other way. Okay, for some reason, it's running past us on that. Which, it's not a big deal, but I would prefer... I think it's running... I think it's this thing is getting in the way of it. I think when it runs into that, sometimes it, like, says, oh, I can't complete this move, and then it refines a new one. But it should still go the same way. Ah, I knew that was going to happen.